let's jump into this. We're looking into Ebenezer Ueno Hundian today. And it's kind of interesting because the stuff we have is kind of, well, it's a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest.
Yeah, it is.
I've got some pieces from what sounds like, I don't know, like a celebratory podcast, you know?
Yeah.
Real upbeat. Mm-hmm. And then we've got this pasted text, like someone just copied and pasted it. It looks like a transcript.
Yeah.
But like a transcript of what?
Exactly. We don't know. An interview, speech. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. And that's part of what makes this so interesting, right? It's like we've got pieces of the puzzle.
Ebenezer, so true. With your heart full of gold, in God's love you bold. With each client you embrace.
But we don't have the box with the picture to help us put it all together.
I know, right? And it makes you wonder, like, why were these specific details chosen? What's the overall narrative?
Right. What's the context we're missing?
Exactly. So I guess it's up to us to try and piece together who Mr. Hundian is based on what we do have.
Okay, so let's lay out what we know for sure. Ebenezer Ueno Hundian. He'll be 64 on January 26, 2025.
Happy early birthday.
In your path we see the light, leading us through darkest nights. As you help to ease the strife, God has blessed you all your life.
Yeah, for sure. And he's an insurance mortgage broker. But what really jumps out from both sources is the focus on family and community. It's like everywhere you look.
Yeah, like constant mentions of him being a pillar of support, a wonderful husband, father, and friend. It's clear that those relationships are central to how he's perceived by others.
Totally. And then we get to this travel itinerary from the transcript.
Oh,
it's not just packed, it's overflowing. It's got barely home. Manchester in January 2024 to visit family and friends.
Okay.
Lagos in March for his mother-in-law's burial.
In God's love you're born. With each client you embrace, you show mercy with a face. Helping hands you always give. In God's love you're born. With each client you embrace, you show mercy with the face. Helping hands you
Marbella in September for, get this, a 40th wedding anniversary.
Hold on. Marbella for a 40th wedding anniversary. That's serious dedication to someone else's celebration.
Right. Like, who are these people, Segun and Natalia Oleg, and what kind of bond do they have that warrants an international trip?
It definitely suggests a level of closeness that goes way beyond just casual acquaintance. It makes you think about the kind of effort Mr. Hundian puts into maintaining those relationships.
Absolutely. And it's not just happy occasions either. He's in Lagos again in December for another burial. This time it's for his sister's burial, Felicia Gabos Sujinran.
So another loss to cope with.
Yeah.
Mr. Ebenezer, rise and shine. Today's your day, it's so divine. We celebrate your heart and mind. God's blessings on you now aligned. You guide us through the storms of life with grace and wisdom.
To prioritize family like that, especially during the holiday season, it really speaks volumes about his sense of duty and commitment.
And then there's a wedding in August for Hogan and Celatina. Who are these people?
Right, like we're getting all these names, all these events, but very little context.
I know. It's like we're seeing the outlines of these connections, but we don't know the full story behind them.
And yet, even without that context, we're starting to get a picture of someone who prioritizes being present for the people in his life.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. On top of running a business, he's making time for all these family milestones, these trips.
It's like he sees those relationships as an investment, something worth nurturing and putting in the effort for.
And to do that consistently, even with a busy schedule and international travel, it suggests a level of dedication that's pretty rare these days.
Yeah, you don't see that every day, that's for sure.
It really makes you wonder, what would he say if we asked him, like, hey, what's your secret?
love so bright and steady. In your heart His light shall glow. Dance and sing with all your might. Celebrate this special night. Mr. Ebenezer, we honor Thee. In Christ's love eternally.
How do you make time for it all?
Right. What are his guiding principles when it comes to family and relationships?
You know what's interesting, though, with all this focus on family, it kind of makes you wonder about his other connections.
Right.
Like, remember that Soyuznik's UK end-of-year party on the itinerary?
Oh, yeah.
Now, that one really got me curious. Like, did you know he's part of this association called Soyuznikis?
What's that?
It's for Nigerian graduates of Soviet universities.
Whoa, wait, so he studied in the Soviet Union?
That's what it sounds like. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, definitely.
Dance and sing with all your might. Celebrate this special night. Mr. Ebenezer, we honor Thee. In Christ's love eternally. Happy birthday, Mr. Ebenezer. May your blessings overflow. With God's love so bright and steady. In your heart His light shall glow.
His values, maybe?
Yeah, good point.
And then, let's not forget the Hundian Descendants UK party,
Oh, yeah, that one.
which, by the way, sounds massive. Organizing something like that takes serious commitment, not to mention, like, the logistics, you know?
I think it's safe to say we're dealing with someone who loves bringing people together. Like a real connector.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he's hosting this huge family gathering, that kind of suggests he's not the type to go all out for himself.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
It's more about strengthening those bonds, celebrating that shared heritage.
Exactly. And it kind of ties back to something we noticed earlier, how both sources praise his professional success.
Years of blessings in your name. Yeah, we're shining bright with faith. God's own favor like a flame, burning stronger with God claim. I also come for you today. God's love pouring, come what may. Faithful servant in His way. Every shines like a new day.
But they don't give us any details.
That's true.
It's almost like his career, while obviously important, isn't what really defines him.
It is interesting, isn't it? Like, you're saying, yeah, he's a successful insurance and mortgage broker, but that's not what makes him special. It's his dedication to those relationships.
Right. It's about going the extra mile for family and friends. That's what they want to highlight.
I actually find that kind of refreshing, to be honest.
Me too.
In a world that often equates worth with your job title,
Yeah.
it's nice to see someone being celebrated for just being a good person, you know, for the strength of those connections.
It really makes you wonder what he'd say if we asked him directly about it, you know?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Like, what parts of his life would he choose to focus on? We've got this intriguing outline, right? The travel, the family gatherings, the community involvement.
Yeah.
But we're still missing those personal anecdotes, those little stories that would really bring him to life.
Yeah, it's like we're looking at this beautiful tapestry from afar, admiring the colors, the patterns,
Right.
but we can't quite see the individual threads that hold it all together.
Exactly. Like, I'd love to hear about a time he went above and beyond for someone, or a challenge he faced within his family or community.
Oh, absolutely.
Or even just a funny memory from one of those gatherings, you know, those little details that would really complete the picture.
Strength in storms where others yelp. With the Lord you never step. Far from joy His love has kept. I also come for you today. God's love pouring, come what may. Faithful servant in His way. Every shines like a new day.
find those stories, those personal moments where we really connect with someone, understand their motivations, find inspiration for our own lives.
So this is where we turn to you, dear listener.
Yes. If you could ask Mr. Hundan one question based on what we've learned so far,
What would it be?
what really sparks your curiosity?
Or maybe you're wondering how he manages to maintain such strong family ties across continents.
Or maybe you just want to know what brings him the most joy.
Whatever it is, we hope this deep dive has at least made you think about the power of connection, the importance of nurturing those meaningful relationships.
Because a life well lived, it's not just about achievements, right? It's about the impact we have on others.
And the legacy we leave behind.
Happy birthday to you, Ebony. We see God's blessing everywhere. In your steps we feel the grace, guiding us in every place. As you safeguard dreams and homes, God's love in you always roams. Happy birthday to you, Ebenezer, so true. With your heart,
You know, Mr. Hundian, he might not be some big celebrity or anything,
Right.
but his story really makes you think, sometimes the most incredible lives, they're not the ones making headlines.
Absolutely. It's about the quiet impact we have, the everyday acts of kindness and love and support.
So he's not out there trying to change the world, but he's changing the world for the people in his life.
Yeah. And that kind of ripple effect, that's something we can all create.
Right. It might not involve international travel or these huge family gatherings, but it starts with just, making those connections a priority.
Being present for the people who matter.
This whole deep dive has kind of got me thinking,
for the love you spread so near. In your path we see the light, leading us through darkest nights. As you help to ease the strife, God has blessed you all your life.
Maybe I should reach out to that friend I haven't talked to in forever, or finally plan that visit to see my grandparents.
I think that's a fantastic takeaway.
It's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and let those connections kind of slip away.
It is.
But this is a good reminder to, make an effort.
And who knows, maybe someday someone will be doing a deep dive on our lives, trying to figure out who we were and what we value.
That's a thought, isn't it? Hopefully they'll find something as rich and vibrant as what we've seen with Mr. Hundian.
I love that.
So, dear listener, we've come to the end of our little journey here.
With your heart full of gold, in God's love you're bold. With each client you embrace, you show mercy with the face. Helping hands you always give, in God's love you're bold. You are a blessing in disguise, under God's
Exploring the life of Ebenezer Uwenu Hundian.
Quite a journey.
And for me, it's a reminder that true wealth, it's not about the stuff you own or the titles you have.
No.
It's about the richness of those relationships. The impact we have on the lives of others.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep exploring, keep connecting, and keep diving deep into those stories around you.
And hey, if you happen to come across anything about that So You Think It's UK group, let us know. We're dying to figure that one out.
Right. That's a mystery for another day.
See you next time.
light leading us